This is my 2400 points Ogre Kingdoms. A bit of a hard list today. Starting with the characters, a level 4 Slaughter Master with Lore of Death. He has armor of silvered steel and dawnstone. Then a Bruiser, who is also the BSB, and he has the Rune Maw banner and Iron Fist. And then a level 2 Butcher, who has Lord of the Great Maw, of course, he has to. And he also has Hellheart. Then for core, an Iron Guts Buzz, a Gut Star with full command. They have the Wailing banner and Lookout Gnobbler. For special, 2 units of 4 Mournfang Cavalry. One of them have the Dragonhide banner. They both have heavy armor and Iron Fists. The other unit has a banner, Swift Stride banner. Then 2 Saber Tusk pack, although they're actually boars in this version of the Orc Ogre combination. And then for rare, 2 Iron Blasters. When it comes to the spells, the level 4 rolled up Spirit Leech, Aspect of the Dread Knight, the Caress of Lanip, and Soul Blight. And the level 2 Great Maw rolled up Spine Marrow and Brain Gobbler.
This is my 2400 points of Skaven. For general, I have the Grace here on the Bella here. He has the Obsidian Lodestone in the Spell Scroll. And then I have Chef Stain, BSB, the corner here. He has the Enchanted Shield and Talisman of Preservation. For core, we have 84 Clan Rats with spears, 2 times 50 Skaven Slaves. For special, we have 5 Rat Ogres, 2 Packmasters, one of them is a Master Modeler, and 40 Plague Monks with the Plague banner. For rare, 2 Cannons, 1 Hellbit, 1 Doom Wheel. And for spells, I rolled up Skitter Leap, Death Frenzy, Scorch, and Crack's Call.
Ogre Kingdoms, end of movement, turn 1, end of movement phase. The Mournfang shuffled up here. The Iron Guts just moved a bit to the side so that the second Iron Blaster could come in and get line of sight to both the Bell and the Doom Wheel, as well as the Hellpit. The other Mournfang stayed basically put. The Saber Tusk that was a reinforcement came in and blocks the way, and the other Saber Tusk charged the Rat Dart here. On to Winds of Magic and shooting. End of Magic and shooting phase. For the Magic phase, I got off Soul Blight onto the Hellpit Abomination, so lowered his toughness and strength with 1. Tried to do a Spirit Leech on the Doom Wheel, but that one was dispelled. And then I also cast the Caress of Lanip on the Doom Wheel, but that didn't manage to do any hits or wounds. Then for shooting, both Iron Blasters fired at the Doom Wheel and managed to kill it. So now on to close combat. Close combat, Despite fearing the Saber Tusk, the Rat Dart managed to kill him, do 2 wounds, and the Saber Tusk did 2 wounds back. On to Skaven turn 1.
Moved up the monks a little bit, moved the Skaven slaves sideways, moved up the rat ogres and everything else. I tried to charge with this with the Skaven slave to his to call it
Saber
Tusk, but he fled off the table and they pursued 6 inches. Magic and shooting phase. For magic, only managed to get on Death Frenzy on the slaves here. In the end of the turn, killed 5 of myself. For shooting phase, I killed 6 iron guts with both of the cannons.
End of movement phase, Ogre turn 2. The Mournfang charged the Rat Ogres here. Did not get an Ogre charge, but got in. The other Mournfang charged the Plague Monks with an Ogre charge. And then the Iron Guts moved away from one of the cannons and coming up to join the Mournfang. The Iron Blasters just moved a little bit and pivoted towards the juicy targets here on the left. On to Winds of Magic and Shooting. End of Ogre Kingdom Magic and Shooting. For Magic it was a lousy 4 Winds of Magic. And I tried to first make the Mournfang stubborn by Spine Marrow. That was dispelled using his die. And then I tried to cast Soul Blight on the Plague Monks, reducing their strength and toughness, but that was dispelled using the Dispel Scroll. For shooting, both Iron Blasters fired at the Hell Pit, but the regeneration saved the first one, and then the second one got a 1-2 wound, so fail. On to close combat. The Mournfangs managed to wipe out the Rat Ogre unit. They killed off, I think, 4 Rat Ogres, and then they fled and overran into the bell. And on the other side, the Mournfang didn't lose a single wound and killed 20 Plague Monks, but they're still steadfast and managed their leadership test. And that was it. So moving on to Skaven turn 2.
Movement phase. I charged the flank on the Mournfangs here with my slaves. I tried to charge the cannon there with the other slave unit, but I couldn't reach. The Hell Pit was too close to the Mournfangs to pivot and charge them, so he just ran off. Skaven turn 2. Magic and shooting phase. I start to use 3 dice ringing the bell, and I get 13 stirring bone veil. I didn't think I caused any wounds with the D3. Yeah. One at the Mournfangs here.
Yeah.
And then every model in the unit can attack. And I also put on Death Frenzy, so it will be
240 attacks.
240 attacks there. Then I cast a Scorch here. Did 4 wounds. In the shooting phase, I did a misfire. Turned the cannon and shot the wrong way. Over to close combat. After the 230 attacks to the Mournfangs here, I only managed to do 8 wounds. So he fled.
But I did 10 wounds back. 2 on the Gracier.
Yeah, 2 on the Gracier. And here I lost the combat. I didn't manage the leadership test with the slaves, so they fled, they died on spots. The combat here between the giant rats and the Iron Blaster. I lost and I fled through my own unit here.
Ogre Kingdom's movement phase turn 3. The Mournfang, who survived the onslaught from the clan rats, did not rally and fled off the field. And then the other Mournfangs charged the cannon, Warp Lightning Cannon. The Iron Guts moved up, and the Iron Blasters just aims towards the other cannon and the Hell Pit onto magic and shooting. Good Winds of Magic, but I only managed to get on the Spine Marrow onto the Mournfang, and then I cast the Caress of Lanif on the fleeing Plague Monks with 2 dice, and it was a miscast, so they died, and I got 1 wound on my Butcher, and then lost a couple of die. So the last remaining spell was I tried to reduce the strength and toughness on the unit with the bell, but that one was dispelled. For shooting, the first shot of the Iron Blaster hit the bell and Greyseer. The Greyseer died, the bell survived and rung out with an 11, which was deafening peals, which didn't injure anything except the middle building, which was collapsed. So that one is gone now. And then the second shot of the Iron Blaster managed to do 5 wounds on the Hell Pit Abomination. On to close combat. And a quick close combat phase. The Mournfang killed the Warp Lightning Cannon on the impact hits and reformed to face the bell. On to Skaven turn 3.
Yeah. Try to charge the clan rats here in the flank of the Iron Guts, but I got double ones. The Hell Pit was 1 inch short of getting into the Iron Blaster there. Shooting and magic phase. Since the Gracie is dead, I rang the bell with 3 dice, got a 16. This building here collapsed. And for shooting phase, I tried to get the Iron Guts, but I missed.
The only thing I did was to turn around the Iron Guts to face the bell and move them backwards a little bit. And then moving on to Winds of Magic and shooting. Magic and shooting. For magic, I went hard for the BSB. First, I tried to get him with the Caress of Lanip, but didn't manage to do it. Or I managed to do actually 4 wounds, or 4 hits, but he saved them all with his ward save. But then for Spirit Leech, there was another 6 wounds, and that eventually killed him. And then, with no Dispel dice left, I also got off Soul Blight onto the Hell Pit Abomination. For shooting, I tried the Grape Shot with the first Iron Blaster, misfire, so he may not shoot again for the rest of the game. The second one tried to kill off the Warp Lightning Cannon and managed to do 1 wound. And that was it. On to Skaven turn 4.
Movement phase, moved up the clan rats a little bit closer. Skaven slaves, and also the Hell Pit managed to get in. Again I rang the bell, got Scorch off, managed to do 1 wound on the Butcher. For shooting I got to misfire again, shot this way, onto close combat. I managed to do 1 wound with the impact hit, and then I get the one that he feed. Did
3 more.
Did a single wound that's multiplied by 3, and he did 7 attacks back and didn't hit a single one. So I won by 4, and he fled, and his friend there also fled.
Mournfang managed the charge, but the Iron Guts failed. So now magic and no shooting because my Iron Blaster fled. Ogre Kingdoms, magic and no shooting. I got first off Spine Marrow on the Mournfang. Then I managed to get the slaves to flee with Brain Gobbler, which means that they actually explode and die.
Did it reach any
Didn't reach any other units, so no damage. Then I tried to do Soul Blight onto the clan rats and the bell, but that one was dispelled. And then Caress of the Nip on the bell, but managed to do 0 wounds. So close combat. End of Ogre's turn 5. Close combat, killed 15 of the clan rats, but they are unbreakable because the bell is still there. I didn't manage to do a single wound on the bell. And no wound back.
Yeah, 1 wound.
1 wound back onto the Mornfangs. So Skaven turn 5.
Skaven turn 5, medic phase. Ring the bell again, get the 10, get off a scorch on this unit here. Do 2 wounds to the Iron Guts, to the shooting phase. Managed to do 7 wounds, yeah.
Skaven.
Combat phase, I didn't manage to do any wounds. He did 7 back to me. But I'm unbreakable.
I charged the Hell Pit just to get rid of the last wound. I couldn't get out of the Warp Lightning Cannon's arc anyways, so I was Plague or Cholera, as we say. So hopefully at least I can kill off the Hell Pit here. And then on to Winds of Magic and shooting. First thing that happens is that my level 4 didn't manage to cast. I needed 5 on 2 dice and failed, so he couldn't cast another spell. So the level 2 just cast Spine Marrow on my Iron Guts. That was the only thing left to do. On to close combat. Last turn for Ogre Kingdoms. This unit managed to kill off the Hell Pit, but not before he killed the BSB. So that was not great. And then in this combat, I killed off 5 clan rats, but then also did a wound on the bell. I actually scored 4 2-wound hits, but he saved 3 of them.
Yeah, of course.
So that's pretty usual. Skaven turn 6.
Final turn, Skaven managed to get on Scorch again by ringing the bell. Did 1 wound to the units. Shooting phase, I managed to hit them all. Strength 6, killed the unit, did 1 wound on the Slaughtermaster and a wound on the Butcher. Close combat, turn 6. I managed to do 2 wounds to him. I did a bunch back, but I'm steadfast. After counting the victory points, he won by
300 points.
300 points, yeah. So a small victory for the Ogres.